Move out and bring the food in. Colonel Holt's cold order drew laughter across the hall. Captain Valeria Cruz gritted her teeth, carrying the tray like a servant among officers. When she set a glass before General Steele, her collar shifted, revealing a flash of silver. The general's eyes widened. Silver Star. Who dares make a war hero serve drinks? The room froze. Valeria lifted her head, gaze sharp as the metal. She stood motionless, every stare pressing on her. Her plain uniform and bare face made her stand out among polished medals and smug grins. Holt sneered from his seat. What's this, Cruz? Serving drinks suits you better than soldiering. Laughter echoed. Major Iris Vaughn smirked. You're more waitress than warrior, Captain. The younger officers joined in. Silver Star? Probably bought it secondhand. Valeria placed another glass, silent, her grip whitening. A lieutenant shouted, practicing for the mess hall. The hall roared. Valeria stayed composed. A woman nearby cooed, Sweetheart, this job's more your speed. Valeria's lips barely moved. She turned away, each step quiet defiance. More voices followed. She doesn't belong here. They'll let anyone in these days. Valeria brushed a worn dog tag hidden beneath her sleeve, the name of a fallen. Comrade Anne kept walking. The mockery thickened. Uniform's too big, borrowed it? Are you lost? Their laughter grew until it filled the room. She kept serving, steady as stone. Careful not to drop it, one muttered. She ignored him. Near the back, a colonel sneered, that medal's a prop. His aide snickered. Probably from her boyfriend. Valeria set a glass down, eyes flicking to a small photo in her pocket. Her squad, smiling beneath the desert sun, from the head of the table. General Steele watched. When her collar shifted again, the silver glint caught his eye. He froze. A silver star, he said, voice slicing through the noise. The room stilled. Holt scoffed. Fake a girl like her couldn't earn that. Steele's eyes narrowed. I authorized that medal. I remember her. Silence fell until a major barked. Come on, General. She's no hero. Just a secretary playing pretend. Laughter followed. Valeria's voice cut through it, calm but cold. Have you ever been in combat, Major? The man's grin vanished. The room quieted. A drunk officer rose, slurring. She's just a diversity hire. Valeria turned to him. Quota, I carried my squad out of hell. What did you carry today? The officer sat, pale. The laughter died. Steele opened a folder marked classified. Helmand, 2017, he said. Captain Cruz eliminated 12 insurgents, saved a convoy. Fact faces blanched. Why didn't you defend yourself? He asked. Valeria's reply was soft. Because I don't need pity. Outside, whispers followed. She's lying, one said. Politics, another replied. Valeria heard, but didn't turn. Her hand tightened on the photo in her pocket. Inside, Holt's voice rose again. If she's a hero, why is she serving drinks? Vaughn smirked. Maybe the story's not so pure. Valeria stared at the sunset through the window, remembering the gunfire, the men she'd dragged to safety. The memory flickered and vanished. She stood silent. A captain sneered. They gave her that medal just to shut her up. You know how they do with women? Valeria adjusted her collar, glimpsing a young private outside cleaning a jeep. He met her gaze and nodded slightly as if he knew. She turned back to the table. The captain pressed on louder. Probably has someone high up protecting her. The laughter that followed sounded thin. More whispers. She pulled strings, slept her way to it. Now Valeria stayed still, expression unreadable. She lifted the tray again, her control sharper than their cruelty. Then a pen clattered near her boots. A young aide bent to retrieve it, freezing when he noticed her sleeve patch. Ma'am, you were with 3rd Battalion, he stammered. My brother was in that convoy, he said. A woman saved them. Balance fell. Valeria handed him the pen. Tell him I'm glad he survived, she said simply. Moments later, a civilian entered, gray-haired, carrying a tablet. He set it down and played drone footage. A woman under fire, dragging soldiers to safety. The camera zoomed her face unmistakable. The room went dead quiet. Monroe whispered. She saved me. Holt's face drained of color. A grizzled sergeant major stood, voice breaking. I saw her pull my best friend from a burning Humvee. He saluted slowly. The mood shifted like a tide turning. General Steele's tone hardened. This is the woman you called a fraud. He slammed a folder onto the table. The real fraud is Holt. Took bribes to bury her commendation. Papers spilled out, bank records, emails. Monroe spoke, trembling. Vaughn altered the reports. Chaos erupted. Holt went pale. Vaughn's words died in her throat. Valeria's eyes gleamed. They weren't afraid I'd fail, she said quietly. They were afraid I'd prove them wrong. A reporter burst in, recording. Captain Cruz, did you hide your record? Valeria looked out the window. The public deserves truth, she said evenly. But I didn't do it for them, Vaughn screamed. She's protected by Steele. Holt shouted for a tribunal, but cameras were already flashing. Headlines spread. Female officer fakes Valor. Valeria stood calm amid the storm. A young sergeant approached timidly. Ma'am, were you really in Helmond? She handed him the photo of her squad. We all fought that day, she said. His voice trembled. Thank you. She nodded and turned away. Then the door opened again. A tall man entered, broad-shouldered, quiet strength in every step. Steele stood. Mr. Cruz? Valeria's husband joined her side. The room fell silent. An old colonel rose, his voice rough. I trained your father, he said. He told me his daughter would outshine us all. He'd be proud today, he saluted. Valeria blinked once, steady. Fallout came fast. Holt was escorted out in disgrace. Vaughn's contracts dissolved. The others fell silent under the weight of truth. Valeria walked out beside her husband, calm as ever. A janitor in the hall whispered, You're the one from the news. My son wants to join because of you. Valeria smiled faintly. Tell him to stay sharp. Days later on the training field, skeptics gathered again. Vaughn, desperate, threw down a Barrett rifle. Prove it. Valeria picked it up, calm and certain. One breath, one shot bullseye. The applause was instant. Steele saluted. Not a waitress, he said. A Silver Star hero. A young recruit stepped forward. Ma'am, I want to be like you. Valeria set the rifle down gently. Then be better. As she walked away, sun dipping low, the base watched in silence. She didn't seek approval or redemption, just truth. The same woman who had carried men through gunfire now carried herself with quiet, unshakable dignity. Her story wasn't about glory. It was about standing tall when everyone wanted you small and walking forward without needing anyone's permission.